Hi everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video, and as you guys may know, they recently expanded the leaderboards on Geoguessr maps, so we have no moving, panning, or zooming leaderboards, and so I thought on today's video we would play my favorite map, AI Generated World, and try and get that #1 spot on the NMPZ World Record leaderboard. So let's just see how we can go today. I'll explain my thought process on these games, and let's just see if we can get any good ones. So where are we going to start off here today? Immediately feeling like, it's really interesting. We have a bunch of really low vegetation here. We seem to have a wooden pole there. I think my main thoughts were like maybe Norway or maybe like northern UK, Ireland or something like that. Maybe this yellow sticker on the pole would be a British one. So I could see maybe like Northern Ireland or something like that working rather nicely here. The lack of trees is definitely interesting. We do have some over there, so I'll give that a go. Okay, and it was over there in the UK. Obviously, we'll reset because we want a bigger, score than that, 4.4k, if we're going to get 24,000 points. But let's just see what we got on the next seed here. So this one should be somewhere in Victoria. Looks like a Victorian kind of style of pole top to me. So let's get down here into Victoria and think about where we want to go. So the grass is relatively long and it's very flat. So this could be the type of round where you kind of just click central, where it is quite flat and where you do get a lot of farmland like this. But I can actually see it maybe just being a bit further towards Melbourne. So I'm going to go like that. And yeah, pretty good score there, 4.7 is definitely doable. Next one here, what are we going to get? So maybe something in the Philippines here, I imagine. I don't know, just these coconut palms, very common in the Philippines, coconut palms. And then we do have some bamboo as well. I couldn't actually confirm that it's Philippines though. The concrete road makes everything feel rather good, although yeah, it's just kind of hard to tell here. So I was thinking one of the lesser islands here, maybe like Cebu or something like that. Give that a go. And okay, it was over there. 4.3k, we'll continue on, even though it's probably not going to be anything like a world record seed. Next one here, we got long dashes in the center of the road, so I think in France or UK. And I believe it looks more like France, right? The architecture seems somewhat more French. The shutters on the windows, for example, feeling very French indeed. So I would like say this is not too far from Paris, maybe like somewhere around this kind of region or something like that. Okay, well, it's just near Paris. That's another good score. Next one here, all white road lines. But it feels like it might be Argentina or Uruguay. So that does fit. Only solid lines in those two countries are actually yellow. So let's think in here. The fact that it's so cloudy is often something you associate with Uruguay, although something about the whole round does kind of feel a bit Argentinian. So I might just click on the kind of Uruguayan side of Argentina here. Again, it was that side. Another good score. And the last one here is very rocky. And we have a lot of rubbish. It's very interesting around here. I think this might be like South Bangladesh. Alternatively, I could see maybe like a Sri Lanka working possibly, or maybe a Philippines or something like that. But I'll give South Bangladesh a go. I think it's actually a pretty good shout here. Could be wrong, but we're not going to get a huge score here anyway. And it was actually just outside Manila there. Very interesting. But hey, we got 19k there. It was a pretty good effort all the way to the end there. And the next one here is, so we have a ridge of mountains to our east. I would say these are probably likely to be the Cordoba Mountains because it would appear that these mountains are fairly big, and normally fairly big mountains are to the west in Argentina. So probably these are the west mountains over here. So we could be looking like that. Now, how far away are they? Pretty close, actually. And this road is actually lining up quite nicely. So I would say the 148 is probably the best one here. But maybe the number one is actually even more correct here, because it doesn't seem like they're very far away at all. But no, I think because the fact that this road is so straight, I will go for the 148. Okay, and it was further up here. Okay, this is a different mountain range entirely. Just kind of connected to the western mountains there. Maybe I should have got the vibe that it was a bit further north vegetation there, but for some reason I was just kind of set on the fact that we were probably looking at the Cordoba Mountains. That's okay. Next one here, what are we going to get? Yellow outer lines here. Should be South Africa. This winterish coverage, I feel like that's kind of more of a north thing. The trees also feel more northern, so I'll just go near Polokwane here. What's nearby? We'll continue on with that score. Next one here, Guatemala, somewhere up in the mountains. So when you see like high elevation in Guatemala, just clicking between Quetzaltenango and Guatemala is generally speaking a good idea. We'll go here. And okay, it was right near there. Excellent score. Next one here. Okay. It's a Brazilian pole, I think, here, which is interesting because it didn't initially remind me of Brazil that much. But okay, look down here. We have this kind of a sloped roof with the kind of wooden paneling inside. That's the Germanic architecture that you tend to find mostly in Santa Catarina. The palms, I mean, everything works kind of nicely here. And I would think it's a bit further east in the state if it is going to be there. So I'm going to click in the mountains here. And it is actually down in RGDS, which you also find it quite often in, so it's not really a surprise. Next one here, what are we going to do? I think it might be somewhere in Christian. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be somewhere in Norway. The problem is I would expect this to maybe to have a green number plate in Norway. So it could still be Sweden, for example. But I think it still looked quite a lot like Norway, so I'll probably just try that. Now, whereabouts? It should be further south, especially because of the flatness. And we could just go Kristiansand, because it said Kristian on it, even though I don't think it actually says Kristiansand. I'll give it a go. Okay, and it was actually Kristiansund, so oh man. So we could have we could have actually got a really nice score there. That's unfortunate. Okay, and the last one here is actually going to be Sweden. Now this architecture with the white buildings and the red roofs, almost feeling a bit Portuguese, very common around Gothenburg as far as I can tell. Also this rocky kind of cove here is very typical of this area. So I'll go in this town here. And okay, well, it's just one of those towns right near there. So, man, could have been a really nice score there. We would have added 1,000 points with the Norway, or 1.5k, but still we lost too many points on Brazil to get a high score. Next one here, we got grass in the middle of the road, which is something you often find in the Republic of Ireland. Though this is an interesting round because it's like old Generation 4 camera, which is only found in some countries. I'm trying to think where. Does Sweden have some or something like that? I know like Austria has quite a lot. It just looks subtly different. The blacks are not quite as black. If you look inside the trees here, they're kind of like more of a muted black color. So yeah, I mean, I know it's quite common in Austria, so I could try there. Poland has quite a lot too. I don't really feel like it feels like either of those countries. So I'm just going to go what it looks like, which is Norway, but not really sure. Okay, it was Austria. Should have just tried that, because I don't think it's actually found in too many European countries, but didn't really look that much like Austria to me, so that's okay. Next one here, what are we looking at? This very red soil reminds me of like Chile, Argentina. You do see that quite a lot, like around La Roja or something like that, going into these mountain roads here. Could just see it being Chile as well, but I think the Argentina color is slightly better. Okay, it was a bit further north there, so yeah, it's definitely that stuff's definitely worth learning, but often it's not quite so red up north, I feel. Anyway, next one here. Argentinian, I would say, chevrons here. Now, the climate here is very interesting. I'm just going to give it a punt. Not really sure where this would be. Pretty good guess, honestly. 4K there is decent, but yeah, we're going to need better than that if we're going to get on these back into the top 5 of this leaderboard. Okay, next one here is interesting as well. AI-generated world, like half the time you can't tell what country you're in, but I was immediately obviously thinking Europe here, but it looks like we have cabbage on the side of the road here, so I think actually this might be low-cam Japan, in which case we'd be looking at obviously Hokkaido with those cabbages. Now, I'll just hit it here, we'll try. And okay, it was in the south of the island. We'll continue on because it's a decent guess there. Okay, and the next one here, Aussie Sports Bar. Wow, are we in Bali? No, it doesn't, I think it's Laos actually. Well, I mean, there are a lot of Aussies who go there as well. We're definitely driving right here, so yeah. I think this is somehow Laos, and it should be somewhere fairly touristy, so probably Vang Vieng or Luang Prabang. I can't really tell the two apart. Maybe this is more Vang Vieng. I don't know, I'll try Luang Prabang anyway. And it was there, nice. Okay, Aussie Sports Bar, what an interesting location. Next one here, Russia. It appears we have like some kind of autumnish looking trees here. A very interesting round. Could it ever be Ukraine? I don't think so. But it's not an obvious Russia. Like, I guess it would be down here somewhere. Just because it looks like we don't have any birch trees. We have, like, a fruit tree over here or something. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting round. I'm not quite sure what I think of it. It could still be all the way out here, definitely. But, I don't know, something about it gives me a bit of a south vibe. So, especially this kind of, like, white bricks kind of look similar to that. So, I'm just going to go, like, here. I don't know where it's going to be though. Okay, what's there? Nice. Actually a pretty good guess there. Should have gone further east, but that's okay. Next one here, is it Chile? Or is it Europe? I actually can't tell. We have like a London bus here. It's so strange. All the cars seem to be European, and I would say this is a European pole as well. So maybe Bulgaria here or something like that. Serbia. Even North Macedonia could work quite nicely. Very interesting round. Is this ever North Macedonia? I feel like maybe sometimes Bitola has like very kind of overcast coverage, so I could try Bitola here, or Ohrid or something like that. Very interesting round. I don't quite know what to make of it, but yeah, let's try Bitola. I thought of it, let's give it a go. Okay, let's just Skopje there. Still got the country, it's pretty impressive, I think. And the last one here is going to be Botswana. Now, what does this feel like? I feel like this may be deceptively just an easy Gaborone or like Lombotse or something like that. Just because it feels very neutral and it kind of looks a bit like South Africa. But if not, I would say it's probably up towards Francistown. We'll see. Okay, well, it's just Gaborone. Nice. Okay, that was a 23.4. Definitely solid. Just slightly improved the Russia and the Japan region guesses, and we're golden there, honestly. So that's pretty good seed, honestly. Happy with that. Well, let's jump back in here again. Next one here. So, looks like it's going to be somewhere in like Austria or Slovenia or something like that. I think it's probably just Austria. And I guess if I got that kind of mixed vibe, especially this house feels a bit Balkan. No, maybe this is Slovenia. What about house numbers? Because house numbers can be quite useful. I think it's a red house number, which is very typical of Slovenia, but it's very hard to tell. It's not quite the typical color. So, okay, let's just go on the map border here. I think that's fine. And yeah, let's just near the capital. That's fine. 4.8 is very acceptable. Okay, next one here. Some Brazil action. Presumably the red soil would be very indicative of Brazil. And we have a lot of palms and not a lot else going on here. I think the farmland might make us go further south here. Maybe Mato Grosso, Sao Paulo, Parana. But apart from that, there's not much going on. I think I will try just Sao Paulo here. And yeah, we got the state. Decent score. Next one here is Russia. Trees are not really given too many vibes here, I have to say. So we're gonna have to get a nice guess. The road quality is really good, so you could always just click Moscow here just for that reason. But I can see this being much further east as well. It's always possible. But I think on this occasion I will just go Moscow. Let's give that a go. Okay, was nearby. Actually, not a bad guess for NMPZ in Russia. Next one here is presumably in India. It's very green farmland here. I don't know if that's a Punjab pole top, but the whole vibe of the round feels quite Punjab to me, so I'll give that a go. Okay, it wasn't. It was just north instead. So yeah, this is not going to be a high scoring seed, unfortunately. But the last one here should be somewhere in Senegal, I imagine, with this kind of architecture. The people definitely look Senegalese as well. Oh, look, the kids are chasing the Gua car here. Kind of cool. But I would say like Tees area or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that place. Okay, all the way down there. My favorite city, Ziguinchor. Yeah, best name. Okay, we're on a 12 country streak here, by the way. We can always go for country streak records as well. And the next one here is going to be somewhere in Ecuador, because we have this round pole. So yeah, that's just really common there, especially the hook on top. Doesn't give me a strong vibe in terms of the city though. I think it is fairly high altitude, so maybe like Cuenca here could work quite nicely. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to give that a go. And what's Cuenca? Okay, very nice indeed. So that's a fantastic start to the seed. Next one here. Should be a Sri Lankan pole. I feel like this is like way up in the mountains in Sri Lanka. Tons of palms, which you tend to see a lot in the south of Sri Lanka as well. So I could just say somewhere like here. Should work out nicely, I think. Was all the way south indeed. Really good score so far. Next one here. Okay, this is going to be Kyrgyzstan. I get the vibe that this might be South Kyrgyzstan. Now, let me try and remember how Kyrgyzstan works here. So, I believe Osh has some sun. Uzgen is very rainy or maybe snowy. And then Jalalabad's just overcast. So, I think this is going to be Osh. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. Okay, really good seed so far. Let's see what we can do here. Ooh, that's interesting. So this is obviously the UK, and we have the yellow rear plate here. My immediate thought was, could this be Jersey? Because if it is Jersey, we're on for an insane score. But my other thought is that this is just south coast, somewhere here. Dover, Eastbourne, just something around London, this kind of area. Maybe even just like in Cornwall or something like that. I have to say the houses are not particularly Jersey, just the fact that we're using so much red brick. So, was there red on that number plate? No way, right? It almost could be red on that number plate, in which case would be in Isle of Man. I mean, this is like a eucalyptus tree though. What the heck? I don't think you could find a eucalyptus tree in Isle of Man. I just don't think it would grow well enough. I mean, I know it's got some warmer water around there, but I mean, the architecture would fit a bit better, maybe. Let me look at this. Do my eyes deceive me? I think it's red on that plate. That's trippy, bro. Look, we're gonna try Isle of Man here. I think it's red on that plate. I also think the architecture is not particularly Jersey, so I at least feel a bit better about that. But okay, let's go in Castletown. I don't know. Just trying to think. It feels like a bigger town here, so probably just outskirts of Douglas then. Oh my goodness, that's insane. I would never go there with a eucalyptus tree, but the plate, it didn't lie. So quite simply, we're on an insane score here. See what we can get. Oh, we get UAE. We've got the record, guys. What an insane game. I can't believe it. So all we have to do is not choke here and go the general right direction. So we have East Mountains here. I feel like that makes life pretty easy. So we could definitely be in this kind of area up here, especially because we're on a divided highway. I quite like that idea. With the flatness west there, I think that's pretty good, right? I think we're probably somewhere up here. Now, we could always be this direction, but the fact that we have such flatness going on to our west is feeling a bit worse for that area. I mean, like, this would probably be the divided highway. Yeah, but, I mean, there are only certain places along here that would work, I think. So, I'm going all the way in. I think that this area here is just quite simply less likely than up here. And I would not live with myself if I went elsewhere, I think. So, yeah, I mean, we are going pretty directly north-south here, I think. Or at least relatively so. But, yeah, I'm just going to hedge it in the middle here. And, okay, what's there? Oof, 24.79 is pretty bonkers, bro. And I could have gone further south here. I literally called south immediately. But, golly, so... let's continue on because we're on a 17 country streak, so we may as well because we're getting towards the record there. But yeah, that's a game and a half, bro. I can't believe that. I was about to go to bed here. I was about to not film, but yeah, that was worth. Okay, next one here. Unavia sign here, probably making it. I was thinking that's gonna make it Ecuador, but I think it's actually gonna be Guatemala here. So the camera's panned really like upwards here, so probably hiding a Google car of some kind. And this wooden pole would also not really fit that well for Ecuador, even though this sign is very Ecuadorian. So yeah, I'm just looking for like a Mexican electricity counter or something. That might be one there. Feeling good about Guat here though. It was all the way north. Yeah, probably could have gotten that to be honest. But I already got my high score, so you know, I'm chilling. Okay, next one here. This one should be somewhere in the USA, I was thinking. VJ Keefe Memorial Stadium, surely. It looks like Texas, in which case, I think. But the painted curbs, no, wait. The painted curbs are very strange. But we have enough. I think we have enough Americana here stuff to go here, but maybe it's like on the Mexican border or something. Okay, just San Antonio. Very interesting around there. Next one here. Just spot the country now. I think it's Germany. Let's try and spot the copyright. I do think it's 2023 here. It's kind of hard to read. No, 2020. Okay. So it shouldn't be Germany. Or maybe Czechoslovak bollards, I think then. Maybe this is Czechia. Could certainly see Slovakia as well, but Czechia, I think 2020 makes sense for maybe. I think they are Czechoslovak bollards. I think it's too hilly for like Lithuania or something. The houses also don't really feel that lit. So yeah, I think I'll just go for Czechia here. And yeah, let's check in. Nice. Okay, excellent. Next one here. UK probably, or France. Maybe France actually feels better here. Yeah, it's kind of 50-50. I think just slightly more France vibes here off this hedge and the houses in the background. So I'm just gonna go for it here. Let's find out. Okay, it was Northern Ireland. There we go. Okay, so I think I'll end the video there. So let's see where this put us on the leaderboard. Obviously it was first, but I want to know what kind of advantage we got going on here. So there we go. NMPZ, best one by 150 points. No doubt Berkey will strike back soon enough, but this was a pretty wild game. I'm just looking back here. I don't really think I gave myself credit for how good this was. Look at this. We picked the town here. We picked the town in Cuenca, which was already pretty nuts. We picked the town here, basically, just like one over. And then we definitely picked the town in Kyrgyzstan, in Osh. And then, yeah, and then this one was already a really nice region guess to begin with. So I honestly think this is hard to beat. I think this one's going to stand for a while, even if people grind for it. So good luck, everyone. I'm proud of this one. I really am. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end. Yeah, I will see you guys in a video very soon. And until next time, guys, goodbye.